Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
Fade in.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
You gotta watch it. You gotta hit the like button.
We've got to get it up for him, guys. Come on, everyone who's watching this video needs to
that.
go over
Don't say
there,
it like that.
And share the video. We gotta keep going.
Don't they have to get it up for me? Don't say it like that. God damn it.
Bella Downsy fingered Dora the Explorer on HBO.
I'll show you guys, gay. Here's the man I just had sex with.
I want it to be a good film. This is what I want going into this. But I know for sure I'm going to be bent over and unspeakable things are going to be done to my hiney. And I don't want that.
I'm still jerking off in front of my console.
But I'm so apathetic to Star Wars that this episode could have featured Yoda riding on a dildo being wielded by R2-D2, and I would have the same reaction.
I dangled for too long there. That wasn't fun.
Jurassic Park didn't eat more out of Lilo's pie.
Oh,
fuck.
I'm retarded.
I do not know if I'm a girl anymore. I think I'm a they, them. What are you talking about?
But we don't want Revan touched. No.
Agreed.
You don't want anything good touched.
No.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because you know what? Disney Star Wars is a bad touch.
It is a bad touch.
Touches you in the bad place.
It's a bad touch.
Show me on the doll where Disney Star Wars touched you.
I need a bigger doll.
Oh, God.
There's no doll left.
You know what? There is a single reason why I wouldn't want to become a merman. I wouldn't have my penis anymore.
Yeah, you're here to bang women.
Stop touching my penis. Stop doing that. I did not consent to this type of touching. Stop it. It's wrong.
I'm not gonna try and win hearts and minds, pretend I'm something I'm not. They make a video game. No, it's bullshit. Not real.
And I gotta say, any person who uses a Funko Pop or gets a Funko Pop immediately disqualifies themselves from any fan discussion.
Unless you're getting it for a mocking reason to make fun of something.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Or if it's a gift from someone.
Both of y'all suck. I hate you both.
If it's a gift from someone who doesn't know better, that's fine. I have a couple of those. But if you're going out collecting Funko Pops,
no, you're retarded. Funko Pops are awesome. I hate myself. I have a problem.
I've got loads of them.
You're a girl. You're allowed to do it. You're a girl.
It's okay for girls. They're exempt. Dre, this is not okay. We need to have an intervention.
I have a problem. I've got no shame.
I'd work with Haley Atwell every day.
But
with two hands. With two hands even.
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
When I was swarmed by bugs, Dom H, the hero that he is, waded into that maelstrom of claws and jaws and gook and pulled my dead ass out and got me to safety on the ship. Dom H is a patriot and a hero.
Yeah, that was really gay.
Hey, man, you don't know what it's like being in the shit with the bugs everywhere, man. It's terror. It's a nightmare. It's horrible.
Bugs make you gay? Kind of explaining why Bill Gates is pushing so hard for us to eat bugs.
Let me do it myself here. Let me get it up real quick. Hey, shut up. Shut up. I didn't mean it like that, you perverts.
Yo, you let the joint hit the back of your throat. Have you no shame?
Liar!
Again, I went to go see Deadpool last year, and Captain America trailer played, and somebody thought that was Hawkeye.
I mean, it is hot.
No, it's I hang on, brain. But hey, I need a restart. Hang on.
That Dermy comment broke us both because I heard Falcon too.
No, I heard Hawkeye.
You heard Hawkeye, but it's like
Hawkeye.
there's 3 all wrongs right
I
there.
heard Hawkeye.
This is why I do crystal meth.
And these tool bags wouldn't know quality if it walked up and motorboated them. Because, you're going to motorboat quality.
Wait, what?
Quality boobs. You want to motorboat quality boobs.
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
So I rewatched that thing when Dermy says the Hawkeye Devil thing, and I literally understand in that moment. My brain literally short circuited in that moment. It's very clear and obvious that my brain had a moment of what did I just hear? Because I couldn't get the words properly out of my mouth. I tried to form a thought, and it wouldn't happen. So I watched that clip and I realized, yes, my brain stopped working for half a second trying to process the words that he said. And he understood exactly what he did right there. He knew exactly what he did. And it got the perfect reaction out of both of us. Welcome to the round table, everybody, where we are here to tell you truths that may be uncomfortable. I mean, we're not going to lie to you. Well, not much, but we're not going to lie to you. We're going to tell you what's going on, why it's happening, and we're going to give you the facts. Make of them what you will. Jed, do I ever lie to you?
Oh, yes, all the time. Yep. Unfortunately, chat, when he says uncomfortable truths, he's talking about the rash Dermy gave him, which we don't need to know about. That you should lie to us about. But yeah, you lie to me all the time. It's a little ridiculous.
I should say something that is.
Did your brain short circuit again there?
No, I want to say things that would get my channel banned at you right now, but I can't because I like my channel the way it is.
All right. This might cheer you up. I want to take my intro to celebrate the great anniversary that's today that was actually pointed out to me by Bill Shatner himself.
Oh.
Today is the anniversary of the moon landing when Apollo 11 first stepped foot upon the moon. So that's already a great point in history. But he also pointed out, I didn't know this, apparently today is the 60th anniversary of the first day that he sat his ass in the captain's chair.
Oh, Captain, my captain.
60 years of James T. Kirk started.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That is that is glorious. I mean, we wouldn't have Star Trek without Captain Kirk because obviously the pilot, Captain Pike, wasn't good enough. So
I love that pilot, but no, Kirk was way better.
It made it better. Hi, Dre. You getting any sleep? You getting any sleep?
Heck no. I haven't slept in 3 weeks. A whole lot of no sleep I'm getting. Good Lord Jesus.
It's worth it though.
Yeah.
It's all in a good cause.
Absolutely.
How you
good
doing?
cause. That's the best way of putting it. I'm good. I'm good. I've had a good week. Back on YouTube for the first time in forever and a day. So that was fun to get back into the swing and let chaos reign supreme. Back playing Pokemon, feeling good about that. So like a lot of good for me personally. I'm building up. Good for me personally. Outside of me, maybe not, but for me personally, not too bad. Not too shabby. Rebuilding myself, building myself back up.
Catch those power naps when you can.
Sweet Jesus.
Hello, Dragon Lady. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Good to be back as well. So, yeah, good to be back for another week. We're talking about the stupid mistake that the BBC made the other day about putting a NES game cartridge in a Super NES.
We made fun of that last week in other streams. So yeah, it was retarded.
I wasn't sure.
No, that's already old news. We made fun of that on other streams.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. I mean, that was just dumb. That was just retarded. And that wasn't even like that was like a Super Famicom. That wasn't even like a US Nintendo. It was like a Super Famicom that you could tell because the controller
Yeah.
colors. The original US based Super Nintendos did not have the buttons be colored. They were just a shade of blue or gray. They were not
the first
rainbow.
first thought that popped in my head was that they had the Wii console, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure that's not a retro console at the moment.
No, the Wii is a retro console.
All right, then.
It's last
Is
decade.
that classified as retro?
That's last decade. It's last decade.
It depends on how you define retro. I usually like the definition of at least 20 years old, which the Wii I don't think would quite qualify, but it's nearly there.
I mean, it's 2 generations ago at this point, so I count that as retro.
Does the Wii U count as a generation, or were we trying to blacklist that?
No.
The Wii U never happened.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Is you skipped it with this.
That was a fever dream. We were all on PCP. That's just what happened. That's it.
It deserved better. No, it didn't. Okay, so all right. So hail howdy to the chat out there. Hail to my mods, Legatus and Algrim, here to do their duty as solid men. Huzzah, son of Jog. Oh, Rubenex here as well. Another mod. Catachem right there. Huzzah, son of Jogster. Hail Static. Hail anybody else joining us, chilling out, hanging out, chatting it up. We're happy to have you with us on this Sunday afternoon where we have a good show. I am proud of today's show. Whether we'll be proud of it by the end, that's another story. But I'm proud of it in this moment. We are going to talk our Sunday privilege box office. We'll do a little bit of a roundup on a couple of things, but of course, then we are going to talk James Gunn's Superman box office week 2 and the truths. We're going to tell you the truths. We're not going to lie to you. That's the whole point of me moving that little bit at the beginning. We're not going to lie to you. We're going to show you what's going on, and we're going to talk about what is real, what isn't, what is not, and what's going to happen. I'm going to pose a question to the panel about the box office. At the same time, we are going to then go into, I don't want to call it insanity, but that's the word I want to use, but I know it's not a correct term. I'll say insufferableness of and I'll use a kind word. Jed knows exactly the word I want to use. The James Gunn fans is another word because of the F that I want to use. The James Gunn fans who are pretending this movie is something that it isn't, who have taken the and are behaving with it changed me, it saved me, that kind of shit. And then already the Supergirl marketing and push for it is already insufferable as well. That poster has spawned so much retarded behavior. So we got a lot of DCU stuff to unpack here today. After that, we have arrived at the third entry into this triple threat match. We are days away from Fantastic Four baby steps. And I will say this now as an introduction to that topic. I feel like I might have to adjust my whole rankings because of the bad international on Superman. There is a chance Baby Steps might get second place because it might have a slightly stronger international, and that might carry it over Superman. It might. It's a possibility here. It's going to do dog shit, but we're talking about numbers as they come together. So I'm just going to put it out there. I'm not. And I would like to be right and have my rankings full where they are, but I will admit there might be a little shuffling here. And then we'll go into all the stuff surrounding that because we've got articles, we have got admittances, we have got the comics. Dre, we are days away from this, and the comics they've made Invisible Woman the leader of the Fantastic.
Of course they have. Of course they have.
But Reed Richards is announced as the leader of the Avengers in the Avengers movie.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that report right now.
I know.
That might just be hype for Fantastic Four because they've already set up this, Captain America, Black Falcon versus the Thunderbolts. Who's really in charge? So, they're just going to throw the Fantastic Four into that mix. And I think we're going to see Doomsday be one of the most confrontational films between heroes. These three different Avengers group all vying for control of the Avengers because they seem to think that that's what we want is heroes fighting each other. Marvel's had this problem for a long time, even back to the original Avengers film where they're like, heroes fighting heroes is just as cool as heroes fighting villains. No, sometimes we like synergy. Sometimes we like teams working together and not having to have an arc every time that there's a team to become that team mentality. So, yeah. I think that's going to be half of Doomsday, and they're just leading up to that right now by throwing Pedro Pascal in the ring.
And we have a little bit of Fantastic Four Doomsday news, but I'll wait till we get to the second. Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah. It would be surprising to me if Sue Storm wasn't the leader.
Yeah.
At this point. You know,
we've got all kinds of evidence. There's a big variety article that dropped with an interview this week. We will go through some of that and come out with the other news of that as we get ready, and we'll make our predictions, our final predictions for Baby Steps as it arrives this week, which I, of course, will also be reviewing it because there's too much. It's part of the whole theme of the month, these 3 movies. And yes, and I did at the very end review Rebirth because my chat made me do it. And then we got to talk Ubisoft and the ridiculousness that's going on there. What they're doing with their spin-off company, things they're saying about microtransactions, about whether or not you get to own your games, that they don't know when to quit.
They really don't. Ubisoft is one of the companies that are just so out of touch with reality. It's almost sad. Like, I pity them. Like, this is getting to the point where we might need to institutionalize the leadership of Ubisoft for not understanding reality versus fiction.
Yeah. And on top of that, the live action Assassin's Creed is happening at Netflix. It is now in production. It's going ahead. We'll talk about all that together.
I just hope it's better than the movie, the Michael Fassbender movie.
Oh, that movie's not good. I honestly, I know I watched it. I was recovering. It was during that recovery period in 2017. I know I watched it. I remember, but I don't remember it. Now,
I think the biggest problem with that movie is the changes they made to the animus, because they tried to make it canon to the games. Like, this is just another story, which I like that to a certain part, so that they don't have to butcher an adaptation of source material like Legend of Zelda. I'm hoping they do. But they changed the animus, where you're not just in the animus and it's in your brain in the computer simulation, where you're actually on this rig acting out everything you're doing in the memory of the ancestor. So if you're jumping off a building, this rig helps you jump really far.
Ready Player One.
Yeah, it's basically Ready Player One, and that was just retarded. I get why they did it. They wanted to have a little bit of synergy and action between the present day and the past, but you just don't need that.
Well, you mentioned it. Let's do that as a quick little warm-up. Legend of Zelda movie, we got good news this week in terms of casting. A real woman will be Zelda, not a man like Hunter Schafer, who's a man. And now that that's settled, we can move on to the actual discussion. And Jed and I, we went back and forth in chat a little bit this week earlier about what they're going to do. I still have reservations about being a live action. I think I still think that's a mistake.
Agreed.
And they have a very large hurdle to climb over and pass in order to make it good. Now, the casting, that's a step in the right direction.
Well, I do have to add with this. So I agree that it should have been animation, partially because I want to preface this casting is far better than I hoped for. I thought we were going to go Harry Potter TV show route, which is random shit. But I don't like this cast. I don't think they look like the characters. I'm going to have to see them in makeup and hair to make a final determination. But just the jawline on Link alone is enough for me to say
it's a 16-year-old kid. He's a kid. I mean, they're really going
young. I think makes sense, but just he can't look like Link in my opinion. I've seen multiple shots of him. Some are worse than others, but that jawline and even Zelda, I don't think she has the right look for that either. So it's better than I'd hoped for. But this might be a Witcher situation where I'm glad we got Henry Cavill in the role, but I still don't think Henry Cavill's right for the role. So that might be where we're at.
So there's all kinds of problems with it, and we won't know anything because I think Nintendo is going to be very tight-lipped on this outside of casting announcements. So, but we had the discussion in chat, and I'll let you weigh in on now with your real-world voice. I agree with what you said earlier in the week to me that the safest bet is to just do a random reincarnation story. Don't try and adapt something. That's the safest bet.
Well, it's not only the safest bet, but it's built by the franchise we're in. There's precedent for it. This isn't jumping into something like Halo and just being like, all right, we're gonna do a Halo show without Master Chief in it. That's just an asinine thing to do, or warping Master Chief to such a degree that he's not Master Chief. But with Zelda, there's reincarnation after reincarnation. They're all different points in a timeline. So the franchise is built for random entries, kind of like Assassin's Creed is to a certain extent, where they can really pull that off. So I think it's not only the safest bet, I think it is also the smartest bet, because even if they adapted Ocarina of Time, for example, perfectly, like they didn't change the script at all, there's going to be a lot of people upset because it can't look like Ocarina of Time, obviously. So I would probably make the choice to do a random incarnation just because of that alone. And video game adaptations are so hard to get right because the plot of a video game is designed for a video game, and translating that into a movie is ridiculous. You might be able to do it in a TV show when you have the room to do all the other random shit that happens in a video game, but with a movie, I don't know if you could make a good Ocarina of Time movie.
You
in
can't,
the amount of time that
because of the ending. Good ending, bad ending. Good timeline, bad timeline.
You have to make a definitive statement.
Because Ocarina of Time, canonically, that's the diverging point of all the time. That's where we get the splintering of the timelines, whether it's good future, bad future, good ending, bad ending.
I'm kind of annoyed at the splintering of the timeline. It just overcomplicates shit.
Yeah. I liked it when I knew that I liked it when I knew that Link to the Past was what gave me the original game, and then went to Link's Awakening, and then went to the original game, and then went to
there was
Adventure
cohesion
Link
to it.
And
it was linear.
But then suddenly it's like, oh no, this is the timeline that Wind Waker's in. This is the timeline that Twilight Princess.
Well, it wasn't really Ocarina of Time that did that, if I remember correctly. It was Majora's Mask, because Ocarina of Time has an ending, but Ocarina of Time's like, hey, we're gonna follow young Link here and follow that alternate.
You know what I mean. So, you know what I mean. That
is the divergent point.
It opened the doorway of there's now two timelines we have to deal with possibly, and and I remember I made the statement earlier in the week that I hadn't played. There's a whole section of years where I didn't play any Zelda games, but I did follow the lore, and I followed it, and I once had somebody in another discussion, completely unrelated to YouTube, years before YouTube, say, okay, yeah, here's how the timeline works. Another hardcore Zelda guy walked me through it moment by moment. I was like, okay, this is nuts what we're doing here, to get the point where you have stuff like 4 swords and all that crazy shit. So I mean, I want this movie to do well, but it's gonna be rough, and it's not even coming out till 2027 at this point. So
yeah, so he's going to be an adult by the time they film it at this point.
Yeah. So I mean, you got Dre. Do you have any extra feelings on this with all this evidence out in front of you?
Not really. I was never a big Legend of Zelda player growing up. I was in a Sega household, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. So I wasn't really a big Zelda guy. But your early sentiments made a lot of sense to me. This should be animated. I don't think any Nintendo-based video game adaptation should be live action. That's just my opinion. I think
agree.
They all should be animated. I'm talking about Donkey Kong, whatever the franchise is, all of them should be animated. And because in my personal opinion, I think Nintendo's personally, in my opinion, is dropping the ball right now. The momentum that they have with the Super Mario Brothers movie,
it's gone.
It's long gone. It's gone now. And in my personal opinion, I would have canceled everything else I had going on and start building out this franchise until it builds up to a Super Smash Bros. Movie. Personally, that's what I would have done. But going live action for this, I think is a mistake. But I think I mean, good for them. They actually got some casting for Zelda to be an actual woman. Praise Jesus. But that's nice and all. But where are we going with this? Where are we going with this type of story? Are we like what Jed said? Like, are they trying to do something original, or are they following Ocarina of Time? Are they following Link to the Past? Like what story is going to be told here? And they have so much lore to actually cover. I think they might be biting off a little bit more than they can chew in this regard. But will they get my money? No, probably not. But I don't know how hardcore the Legend of Zelda players are. I'm not 100% sure how hardcore they are. and if the fan base is big enough to carry. I'm just not sure. In my personal opinion, based on what I've seen, it's not there. And I'm not saying that Zelda's niche. Not that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a big enough fan base to carry a film on its own. If that makes sense.
The Zelda fan. The Zelda fan base is a lot more in passion than a lot of other Nintendo ones, so they're more likely to get enraged by something or have strong opinions on it. Mario fans, they're much more easygoing because of the nature of that franchise. There's not a whole lot set in stone.
Yeah,
Zelda,
Mario's
it's
there's
so
not a lore to
defined.
outside the basic lore. Mario Galaxy, Sunshine, all those random games. It's just Mario. And
it's a lot easier to get Zelda wrong in the eyes of its fan base than it is to get something like Mario or even Donkey Kong wrong, because Donkey Kong has very few titles that have been popular with it. But I think there's something really important you said there, that no Nintendo property should be live action. And I think that's because a lot of the charm of Nintendo games come from their art style and their animation, the whimsy of it, and that's never going to translate to live action. I think Zelda is one of the few that could work in live action if they went a little bit more gritty, a little bit more PG-13, but we're losing a lot of what makes Zelda at that point, and you're going to piss off people. No matter what movie you make, there will be a lot of Zelda fans pissed off, which isn't necessarily the case for a lot of these other properties.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I'm going to necessarily be pissed off. At most, I think I might be disappointed. That's, I think, where I'm going to land in this, because I'm not as hardcore, obviously, because I skipped a lot of years. I only came back for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom because I actually had a Switch. So, but I'm rooted in the past. I can admit that. I'm rooted in the past, the original games, the original runs. That's where I am. That's where I've stayed mostly for my life. I respect the chances they took with some of the other games, but I want the original stories. But Jed is correct when he says the safest path is a random reincarnation because the lore built it in. Now, I think we'll know how they're going to handle this if they do a Ganon casting announcement. And if they say Ganon or Ganondorf.
Well, that as well, which direction in the story they're going. But if it's The Rock, which is the only name I've really heard thrown out there, this entire film could be discarded as trash.
It's done. Honestly, you don't need big names for this film.
It's the franchise that carries it. We need to go back to the days of early Marvel where they realized the characters were the stars, not the actors, and pick people accordingly. And from a subjective point of view, I don't want them to do a random entry of the franchise. This is incredibly unpopular opinion. Everyone who's a big Zelda fan will mock and berate me for this, but Skyward Sword is my favorite game. I absolutely love Skyward Sword, and I think it's one of the entries that makes the most sense as well because it establishes the lore. It explains the reincarnation cycle. It shows the formation of Hyrule and stuff like that. So if they were to adapt a game, that would be the one that I'd subjectively want. Ocarina makes more sense, I think, from a marketing standpoint, but I also think going random makes the most sense.
And I still think Link to the Past would make the most sense because that it was the first one with a real story to it and actual progression. And they did do the adaptation, as I mentioned earlier in the week. They did a comic adaptation in Nintendo Power during its run. So they've already proven that Link to the Past can be adapted into its own story to stand on. They have to make some changes, some generous changes, but it can be. And my only problem with Skyward Sword is that I think it's missing some of the classic nostalgia stuff that Zelda has that gets people excited. Now, I mean, I never played it. I only know of it. I know what happened in it. But
what we know nostalgia stuff.
I mean, like the broken Triforce. It's like the original Triforce United. The forging of the Master Sword, because the Master Sword only came into play in Link to the Past. There was no Master Sword in the original game before that. It was just like the ultimates, your magic sword at the very end. And of course, correct me if I'm wrong, because you would know better than I, the dark entity that becomes Ganon isn't Ganon in the beginning.
It's the spirit of Ganon. So it's called Demise, who is a primordial deity of wrath and revenge and stuff like that, who's ultimately defeated, and he places the curse upon Link and Zelda saying, "A reincarnation of my soul will plague you for the rest of eternity."
Yeah.
So
So
it is Ganondorf.
it
just
is
not under the name. It
that's
looks
what I
just
mean.
like him. It looks
And-
just like him.
But that's what I mean. But you, to have it look charming, but not say Ganon, it's missing the jangly key of it. It's like, oh, Ganon. Okay, I know, I understand what's going on, because everybody knows Link, Zelda, Ganon. Those are synonymous with the whole franchise. Even a normie understands that. So I'm saying Skyward Sword, while the proper place to start, you're not wrong, as the beginning of everything, I just feel it would not land with the normies. I just think it wouldn't attract them as much as hearing all the classic trappings of that Zelda has, because it's for the hardcore. Skyward Sword is for the hardcore fan base.
It has all the rest of the stuff. The Triforce is in it, assembling the Triforce. The Master Sword is in it, and it's a huge part.
Well, it's Skyward Sword. It's the forging of the Master Sword is the thing.
But it already exists. You don't forge it.
Okay.
You are the first Link to wield it, because you are the first Link. And there's a lot of the other stuff, like dungeons, unlike the newest Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. There are actual dungeons in it. I think there's enough of the Ganondorf stuff in there for the big reveal at the end to surprise normies, to be exciting for them and still work. Other than Ganondorf not technically being in it, there's still a lot of classic Zelda in it, though. All the same monster designs, all the stuff that's iconic with it. And it's got the best Zelda, in my opinion. I love the sweet girl that she is in this one. She's not a princess because there's no kingdom to be a princess of at this point, and they've got the strongest relationship. It's I think there's still enough classic, stereotypical Zelda material in there to attract a normie audience. I don't know if the name Ganondorf is just the name is enough to push normies one way or the other, because that's the differentiating factor.
I don't think they're going to go Skyward Sword, though.
I don't think so either. Oh God,
I don't think they're going to do that. All right. Enough warm up. We're good. We're ready to go. Box office roundup. Let's get the normal shit out of the way. As we predicted, in the end, Lilo and Stitch has literally limped to $1 billion. The 1,000,000,007 million is literally a limp. That's a limp, and that's respectable.
Yeah, it's absolutely respectable. It made a shitload of money, more than I would have expected, because Lilo and Stitch is well loved, but I didn't think it was this mainstream. And that was my fault, because I was never a huge fan of Lilo and Stitch. I don't even remember watching it as a kid, really. But yeah, they left it in there longer than I think they otherwise would have, especially with the harsh competition, because they wanted it to limp. Once they realized it was getting close, they're like, all right.
Well, we came around last week. It's like, oh shit, it's actually going to get there. And because we thought it had run out of gas. So there you go. $1 billion on its budget. It has made money, but unfortunately, the reality is all the money it's made has nearly balanced Disney's repeated failures this year. Remember, Black Falcon, Captain America, Snow White, Thunderbolt, and Elio together lost about $500-600 million when you put it all together. The reality of it all, and this and this movie only made about $400 to $500 million, maybe $600 million. So it's at best balanced the books on the movie side of Disney, the studio side. That's not winning. You can claim $1 billion, but that this isn't winning. This is still failing, and in a week, we're heading back into the red.
Yeah. If Lilo and Stitch existed in a vacuum, we could call it a success. But Disney as a whole is in the red.
Yeah. So there's no real discussion to be had here. This is us closing the book on the Lilo and Stitch discussion. There you go. Congratulations, and it doesn't matter. And it's getting its sequel, whether or not they're going to do that. Oh yeah. Lilo and Stitch 2 is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And we're pretty sure they're not going to follow the actual lore route. They're probably going to pick something up. They kind of have to.
Yeah, they're going to ignore the TV movies, the animated TV shows, all of that. There's going to be
which were all really successful too. Those were all very successful. To ignore it is dumb, but this is Disney. They're dumb. So there you go. Congratulations. It'll be all for naught in a week as you start losing money again. And now, of course, Jurassic World Rebirth comes up with $647 million in week 3 worldwide. Having now actually seen it, this movie does not deserve to hit $1 billion, and now I don't think it will. I originally I said 1.3. I was talking out of my ass. I had no grasp of just how. Here's how I essentially break down this movie. There is a mid movie in there, but there's a lot of crap that drives it down to mediocre.
Oh,
but it still is inoffensive slop though. It has no agenda in it, but it is a garbage movie. No doubt. And
it's inoffensive, but a lot of people found it boring. So there's the argument to be made. People enjoyed Dominion more, but Dominion was a far worse movie.
Inoffensive slop is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
very accurate description.
Except for that family. That family needed to be eaten and pooped out by dinosaurs.
Especially the teenagers. I cheered when the teenage girl fell off the boat.
They're pointless. They serve no purpose.
There was one moment I liked the teenage boy, just one, when without thinking, he grabbed that flotation device and dived after his girlfriend who fell into dinosaur-infested waters. Like, without even thinking about it. It's like, all right, he has something of value. And then he immediately ruins it with every other thing he does in the rest of the film.
And I mean, the family, every scene they're in that movie can be taken out and the movie doesn't change, except for the fact they exist so the little girl can squeeze through the gate to pull the lever. That's the only reason that they're there. So that could happen, and that could be fixed with better writing, so that you don't need
with better writing, and you could just have them stumble across something that's plot related, so that they're of value. It would be cheap, but it would still give them a purpose.
They serve no purpose. It's there to give you dinosaur chase scenes with a T. It's the only reason. It was how they got a T-Rex in the movie. Otherwise, no T-Rex in the movie.
I do really like that scene though with the T-Rex, but it serves no purpose.
Yeah.
The family, you could cut out the family and the plot
20
doesn't
to 30
change whatsoever.
You cut out 20-30 minutes and then you just have a mid-inoffensive movie is what you have. That probably makes an extra $200 million because it's then just a regular inoffensive movie. But as it is now, I think this movie has about another $200 million in it, and it'll land somewhere around 850, 900. Somewhere around there, I think. It's got
will
another
be about its break-even point. I think it'll make some profit.
Oh no, it's already made profit. It's in profit now at
Is
180 with a little marketing it had because it didn't have a ton of marketing. It didn't.
Do we believe this budget? Because budgets are
I believe the
hard to
budget's
believe
about
these days.
200. So it's literally at profit right now. It's literally at profit right now. So it'll make a little profit to justify a sequel. Probably not.
God no.
But they're still going to try.
They're going to make
one.
They got to
milk these franchises until it's failure after failure.
Yeah, they'll figure something out.
But it's Jurassic World. It's just Jurassic Park. It's going to make money. These dinosaurs are undefeated. It is what it is. They're undefeated. Yeah. Like Adam, you just sat there and just told us that this movie might as well be diarrhea sitting and floating through the daggone sewer, and yet we're still looking at this joint hitting $650 million in week 3.
Yeah.
The dinosaurs are undefeated.
Oh, undefeated. They're going to win. They will win the month.
Absolutely.
It is no doubt because in a moment we're going to go over to Superman to see that it's behind where it was. It'll be about $150 million behind Jurassic World Rebirth in its second week now. And we'll get into that. But listen, this movie could have been an actual, and I say this very with difficulty, it could have been a better movie because there is a good normal movie in there. It's just bogged down by bad writing, unnecessary shit, and an entire B plot that is worthless. You could have cut 30 minutes out of this movie and had it been an hour and 40 minutes, and it would have been a tighter script, a tighter movie. And people would be claiming us. And also don't do the Stole Snicker bar rapper thing. That was just
God. Just cut the hybrids out of the movie. That's my opinion.
And I'll say this. The Downtosaurus Rex did nothing wrong. That was its territory. That was its territory. Yeah. It's where it lived.
It just ate a fucking helicopter. That's all it did. It didn't do. Did it kill anyone else? I guess
it ate the pharmaceutical corpo guy.
Okay.
It ate him.
So it ate a helicopter and last minute. Oh, corporate guy's a villain. Aren't you so surprised, character?
They make him a worse. It's like, let's make him worse by not saving the girl. I would have let that dumb bitch fall off too. She's a fucking
that's what made him the hero of the story.
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't need to have that added in to make him a worse villain. He's already a greedy pharmo guy who was ready to leave everybody behind to escape with the samples.
I think he should have been a good guy because that would have been the real twist is the guy who pretends he's good the whole movie is actually good the whole movie and he's a corporate dude. Like every Jurassic Park movie after the first one, there's been we're being sponsored by corporate guy. He's a little shady. I wonder if he'll be bad. End of the movie. I just want dinosaurs. I don't care how many people die. It's like, yeah. Of course you do.
This is going to make its money. It's going to win the month. Plain and simple. It is going to win the month. We were right about that. But now what we have to really discuss is, of course, Superman. We spent all of last week's episode breaking it down. It was a great discussion. There was no yelling and screaming. We made a lot of great points. And I felt very comfortable about where we left it. And we said, now we're going to wait and see what happens. Now our discussions are about the box office. And unfortunately, the behavior of the James Gunn fans, of the fabulous people who are James Gunn's fans. And I'm not talking about the people who I've had legitimate discussions with who like this movie. I'm talking about the window-licking rabid droolers who are on social media. That's who I'm talking about, who are behaving like this thing is literally the second coming of Jesus. Like he has risen. That's what it feels like the way they're treating this. But before we get into that, we must, of course, talk about the box office. Here we are, week 2. The numbers are in. Global gross, $406 million. Do we see a problem here?
This should have been opening weekend numbers.
Yes.
It's just like what I said last week. By week 2, this show needed, in order to give itself a fighting chance, needed over $500 million. That is what I said.
Yep.
They are $100 million short.
Yep.
To even, it's not even about justifying existence. Giving yourself an opportunity to break even.
Oh,
it's getting bad.
Not even. I mean, Dre. To that, my response to you last week was everybody around the world needed to wake up in that moment and say, "I need to go see Superman." And they didn't, because last week its international was 95 million. This week they only pulled in 76 million internationally. It's lagging behind what is a respectable domestic. Let's not let biases cloud our judgment. 235 domestic is respectable. It had a good week, so much so that every day on freaking X Twitter, I had to see posts about, it's had the best Tuesday this year. It's had the best Wednesday this year. I had to suffer that all week long. But it did have a good week. It made more money. Congratulations. To the point where it only had a 54% drop. I said it would have 60. I revised it about midweek and said 55. So here we are. Is this bad, guys? Is this good legs?
No, these are really good legs for what it had. At this point in this era, a 50% dropper in the 50s is what you hope for. That's about the average of calling good. This movie needed, though, like a 30% drop or something insane just to maintain its legs. And the word of mouth is good. Those Tuesday and Wednesday numbers are really impressive, but they're Tuesday, Wednesday numbers. They don't make a huge difference on the overall. And the word of mouth can only carry this stuff so far because there is a lot of conflicting reports about this film. I don't think there's a consensus that this movie is liked or hated at this point. There's too much discussion going on to have a consensus at all. And when there's a situation like that, word of mouth is not going to carry the film. But it's still respectable. It's not what it needed, though.
I mean,
it doesn't fix all the problems.
Dre, when I want to look at one particular moment-to-moment drop, week-to-week drop here. Here's the original Friday. I believe this is the 12th was the Friday. Yeah, 12th was the Friday.
I think it was the 11th.
The 11th? 11th?
Yeah,
Okay,
because
sorry.
they highlight the week.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So the 11th. The 11th to the 18th. That's a 70% drop from Friday to Friday. That means very few people went back and saw this again.
That is correct. And the numbers are a little deceiving with the percentage drop, and that's the issue. Like, yes, 54% drop in a normal circumstance, this would be fantastic. But they didn't make no money last week. That's the problem. This don't make no money.
Yep.
125 million domestic last week, opening weekend for freaking Superman.
And you make another 110 million following that. That's all you made in the following.
That's it. You need $700 million to potentially break even.
And that's on the domestic side.
Yes.
On the domestic side, there's no the story of this is, let's be honest. Domestic, this is respectable. It's not great, but it's respectable. It has an audience. I disagree with them massively, and I've made all of my points clear why. But you look at this right here. International, $171 million. And there's a question I want to pose to you. Why? Why is this international so low? When previous Superman movies, as it has been pointed out by other channels all week long, have grossed higher internationally, going all the way back to Christopher Reeve in the first Superman movie in 78.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why has this movie been rejected by the rest of the world?
Well, there's a lot of factors that go into that. But one, I'm going to just, look, I'll be biased. And I don't care. James Gunn. James Gunn's the problem. I don't care what anyone else has to say. James Gunn is the problem. Stick to wacky, wavy, arm flailing characters. Enough. That's where you belong. Make your Justice Gang movie. That's where you belong. Make another Guardians-esque character mashup. That's where you belong. You don't belong in Superman. And I think the international audience believes that as well. I believe that they don't like James Gunn in this type of film. And as someone that saw the film as well as everyone else has, all the James Gunn isms were the worst part of these films. They're disastrous. Whenever something was going well, I knew he had nothing to do with it. Every single time. So, yeah, so I think the main corporate is James Gunn. Number two, I know this is a tired expression, but the idea of superhero fatigue, I'm not going to use it in its basic, people just throw the word around. I'm using it in its proper form, where there's been so many bad superhero films over the last 5 years that the international market is walking away from superhero films. They're walking away from it. You can blame Marvel for that one. You can blame them for that. Well, DC didn't help either because they just produced garbage from the beginning to the end, but all the same. The fatigue of bad superhero films is affecting the international box office, period. They're tired of walking to wherever they got to go to, whatever cinemas they have, and then wasting their money and time. Now, this time, in my personal opinion, like I said, I had fun with this movie. It's not good, but I had fun with this movie. And now people don't even want to run the risk of just running into, like, oh, here comes trash. And that's why nobody's seeing this joint. Now, like you said, domestic box office, all things considered, very good. But this movie costs too much money.
Yep, and that's the problem. The lie that they're running with, that it's 225, 100 production marketing, which is the lie. Hollywood Reporter was the one that broke the story. 363, they confirmed it with the Ohio tax records, and they, in that same article, confirmed $200 million marketing. That's a $600 million, $550 to $600 million movie. You don't even multiply it. You don't even need to do the 2.5. You simply multiply it times 2. That's essentially $1 billion break even.
Yep.
And Jed, they're not even going to get there. I feel like my prediction of 550 to 650, it's right on target. This movie's got about another $200 million in it domestically, maybe, and about another 150 in it, possibly.
That's a stretch
for international.
I don't know if I would say 150, because at this point we started out sub
generous.
100 million in their week one, and now we're even going farther down. We're going to be lucky to see, I'd say, 55 million internationally next week, and then the week after that, 20 some odd. And I don't know if that can stack up to 150, but 100 to 150, I think is
It might get to 250. It might get to 250 international. It
yeah,
might.
250, I think, is a good ceiling for it to talk about here. And again, just like with Lilo and Stitch when we bring it up, it all depends on how long they leave it in the theaters, because the theater windows used to be 90 days. That used to be the norm 5-10 years ago. Now it's barely 40 days is the norm. Not in 90 days, 60 days, whatever they do, it all depends on that, because they might limp to 700, 650, 700 if they leave it in for closer to 60 to 90 days. But even with that, they're never going to sniff at profit. It doesn't matter how long they leave it in.
There's a problem next week, though, Jed. Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that's going to eat a big part of that pie.
Good or bad, I mean, there will be a chunk of people will go see Fantastic Four instead of going to Superman next week.
100%.
And
I don't think that's a stretch on any level. People are going to go see Fantastic Four on its opening weekend. I'm pretty sure they'll be disappointed after they see it, but nonetheless,
yes,
they're going to go see it. That's going to eat up at the chunk of Superman's money, potential money.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, so you maybe get another 150 out of domestic. You maybe get another roughly 100 out of the international when all is said and done, with diminishing returns. And if you keep cutting everything in half every week, it falls down to that 550 to 650 range I predicted. And that's a loss of at least $300 million. At least $300 million for DC, who are already broke. Warner Brothers. I mean Warner Brothers when I say that. So this is not the success that people want to keep pretending it is.
Well, Warner Brothers has already admitted that it isn't a success, and they knew it wasn't going to be leading into it, because James Gunn himself said, like a week or two before the movie came out, it doesn't matter if this movie makes money, my future is secure. That tells you that they had conversations, and he was assured about that, because the conversations were being had, this movie was going to be a failure. They knew it was going to be, and I don't know if those conversations are true, if his place is actually secure. I can imagine it will be, at least for the next few years. It shouldn't,
whatever his contract says.
Whatever his contract says. But at this point, I am certain that they knew it was going to be a failure. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done pre-damage control. And if they're admitting it, the stands should admit it as well. It's just a fool's errand to try to defend this film at this point. And
yeah, I mean, you take us to our next point here. The fans stands and James Gunn. We start with James Gunn. Dre said the James Gunn isms were one of the biggest problems with this movie. Chief among them, what he did to Jor-El. We'll just say it, the abuse he inflicted on Jor-El's rear end is unforgivable. I don't care what random iteration you pulled it from. Doesn't matter. This is Jor-El's background for the past 30, 40 years. It's the canon lore at this point. You don't do it to suit yourself, but that's what James Gunn does. He does these things to suit himself. And there's been a discussion for a week now of, oh, did they really mean to do it? Oh, they'll just fix it. They'll retcon it. Well, let's listen to what James Gunn has to say, shall we?
Has it been doctored? Is that the actual?
How
message?
can someone not think it's real?
I'm just saying.
How can someone? I don't understand. Like, we did this. So in the test screens, people were like, "Is it real?" You know, with AI, nobody trusts anything. Okay, in the movie,
you make a point of saying Mr. Terrific says it's real.
Mr. Terrific says, "I know those computer forensics guys. There's no way." That's Mr. Terrific. Smart as
could we pause it?
And I have.
That was just such bad writing that he was highlighting there. Is Mr. Terrific happens to know all the leading computer experts in the world to know, oh yeah, I assume that my friends are the ones who looked at it and I trust my friends. And this should have been doctored. That should have been the solution of the film, because Lex Luthor is trying to manipulate the world, and that's an easy way to manipulate. You have the source, you can replicate the way that his parents looked. But the reason people want to figure out how it's fake is because people want it to be fake, and he's not realizing that. He's thinking, oh yeah, people, they're just not figuring out the clues I left for them. Here, let me lay out the clues and they'll understand it and like it. He's not able to look past his ego and say, wow, people are desperate to poke holes in this. Maybe there's a reason why. Maybe it was a mistake. Instead, he just laughs at how stupid he thinks the audience is. And it's just, again, his ego is controlling the way that he responds to this film, the way he created this film, and he's just digging deeper holes for himself. Because, yeah, that's bad writing. Just having, oh yeah, all the computer experts say without a doubt whatsoever that it's real. There's never going to be that consensus. There's never going to be 100% of anything when you ask experts for something, unless there is manipulation, unless there has been some backroom deals, unless there is some deception going on. That's the only way you're ever going to get 100% consensus like this. So his lines like that are actually reinforcing the fact that it was probably fake. And so he's not intelligent enough to realize that, though.
No, but this is James Gunn. James Gunn does what James Gunn wants for James Gunn. He did this because he wanted to do this.
Which I have a question for both of you about this.
Okay.
Is this desecration of Jor-El worse than Pa Kent dying in the tornado? To the film, not like is Pa Kent's damage worse than Kal-El's?
It's worse to the film.
Character.
It's worse. It's worse because that's just a bad way to kill off Jonathan Kent. That's just a dumb choice way to kill off because you demean. I keep swapping those words lately. Excuse me. You diminish both Jonathan Kent in his intelligence and Clark in his abilities because. You look at the whole tornado thing, he's fast enough to have saved him and not be seen. That is the bottom line of that scene. If you understand how fast Clark Kent is, he could do that and no one would see him. Or at the most in that almost
basically
in
a
that
black
scene,
hole later on.
And in that scene and instance, there's so much wind distortion going on. It would maybe look like a blur, to quote Smallville, the red blue blur. It would have been a blur. People wouldn't have seen anything, and you can attribute it to the tornado going on there. It would have worked. You didn't have to kill him off that way. This is your beginning. You have now planted the seeds that Jor-El, as we talked about last week, is essentially Zod. And I've heard the cope of, well, maybe he's actually Zod and he sent the message and that's really Zod and not Jor-El. That would be a massive freaking retcon. And I don't think James Gunn is intelligent enough to even do that.
I don't think his ego will allow him to do that because
that's the other point.
He would have to admit that it was the wrong decision.
There it is.
If he retcons it.
My next question. Let's finish what he's saying. I'm going to ask you guys that question. Let's let him finish here.
Maury, the Secretary of Defense, say, "I think whatever you think about Luther, but it's real." And then the clincher is that Gurkos and Lex are walking together.
He's so proud of himself. Listen how proud of himself he is here. He's so proud of himself.
He thinks he's so smart.
Gurkos says, you doctored a message. This is great. And Lex says, it's not a message. It's not doctored. Right. It's real. And who thought his own parents would be the ones to bring him down?
Okay.
All right. To now Jed's point on this.
Ugh.
And that's the question I asked. People are saying, they're going to retcon this. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think James Gunn doesn't care that people are angry about this. He doesn't care. He cares. This is an interview that was given this week. Look how happy he is about this. Dre, he's not going to change this. He's going to
under no circumstance would he change it. Because it's, first of all, it's some of the worst writing I'd ever seen. And it's bad. And I'm willing to bet my testicles that those scenes were added post. Okay? Those scenes were added post. I guarantee they were not in the original shoot. I guarantee it. They shot it the way they shot it. And then somebody in James Gunn's camp was like, hey, we got to find a way to justify this real quick. And then they go and shoot those scenes of everybody just collaborate. Everybody. The fact that Mr. Terrific didn't investigate is insulting.
Just have him say, I use my tech. He's got pulled up on his computer. I've got doctoring checking tech.
Anything. The idea that Mr. Terrific was like, oh yeah, I know those guys. So they wouldn't make it up. What? Yeah. You're the third smartest dude in the DC universe. You think people don't lie? What are you talking about? The idea that like, oh, hey, it's okay because I got this this corroborator and this corroborator. Everybody agrees that it's that it was real, bro. How much more sense would it make for it to be, you know, the message that's always been, my son, I'm sending you as a beacon of hope to the people. How easy is that? So we all can understand that Lex is a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You then make Jor-El a villain.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Hey, like go there, rule the people, and bang all the hot chicks. I'm sorry? What? Where did that come from? As we talked about last week, that means that that Zod and Jor-El would have been one and the same. They would have worked together. They would never have had a rivalry, and everything would have been fine.
Well, I'm ready for it. The most retcon that we could possibly see is in Superman 2 or something. Zod shows up with a mask or whatnot, and then it revealed that it is Jor-El, and that he's like, my college nickname was Zod, and I just thought it was cool.
Oh, God.
That's the level of what I'm expecting.
And
James Gunn can hear
no
you.
No matter what, he's not going to retcon it. I don't think he's going to. Some people saying he's retcon it. I don't think he's going to do it. I agree with what Jed says. His ego won't allow it. He thinks he did such a good job. Look at him, his face right here. Look
That's
at that.
smug.
That is
smug.
the face of a man that just ejaculated. Okay.
And I don't know about that. I mean, let's go right back here for a second. Not when them legs cross like that. I have my legs
He's
spread
hiding the stain.
I have my legs spread as far as possible right now because looking at these two gay men, my legs, I cannot. Who crosses their legs that tightly? Who does? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think he realizes, though, that there is such a thing as laying it on too thick. Like the flaws of the Mr. Terrific and everybody confirming that footage is real. That is writing 101 what not to do. That's one of the first things you learn. And I think this is like we just discussed in Writer's Corner a couple years ago. This is a kill your darlings moment. He was pointed out a darling that doesn't make sense. And instead of doing the mature and talented writer thing of killing his darling, he doubled down and he laid it on too thick to try to justify his darling, no matter how much it was incongruent with everything that Superman is and what the film was. And yeah, I don't think James Gunn is a talented writer. He's a good comedian, but even the Guardians of the Galaxy, so how was he able to do that? Those films feel like a fluke of nature now with the stuff he's been giving us these last few years. I don't understand it, but yeah, it's clear, unadulterated bad writing that someone with his level of experience, he's been writing for 20 years in Hollywood. He should know better.
Well, in the end, the fabulous James Gunn fans, they're going to forgive him because I want to talk now about the reality, the perception is reality. The perceived success of this movie, I still can't find a legitimate answer from the fabulous fans as to why they love it so much. All I get is stuff like this, and I've had several of them, but this is the one I kept. Let me zoom it in for just a little bit for you guys. This scene had me in tears, so beautifully done. Same thing, with the same exact picture. I've seen versions of I'm crying. This changed my life. How can you not feel touched by this? How can you not feel so hopeful from this? The chills in the stands are working overtime to make the perception that this movie is jam-packed full of hope. Now, back to a question I asked earlier. Why is it doing so poorly around the world? Because the hope narrative is buried beneath a lot of crap in this movie. It's barely there. The narratives are in 5-6 different directions and are not neatly tied up at the end. So to say that this is hopeful, this makes me so beautifully done. I don't understand this behavior. And I don't think they're all bots. I think some of these are real people. I just think they're really stupid.
There's so many things like this, like the shot of him smiling at the end while he's bathed in like one of the last shots of the film. The
this right here, their favorite. This is their. once again, morons can't meme. This is a meme to people. They say this like, I helped somebody carry in their groceries today. They said thank you. Oh, I held the door open. They said thank you. This is their meme. Enjoy your movie. Thanks. And this guy's a particularly sick shill I've been watching now since before this shit started for months. I saw this guy be such a blind, fabulous fan for James Gunn up until this point. But it's I don't believe a single thing this guy says. I don't. Go ahead.
Well, you brought up the one I was building up to is the examples of I did something slightly okay, and now I feel like a good person. If you needed a movie like this to teach you basic morality, you're a broken individual that probably doesn't have hope of being a good person. That's why I love there's a psychology test out there about shopping carts, and it's the most basic and one of the best tests of if you are actually a moral person. Do you return the shopping cart or not?
Yes.
It has no repercussions. You're not rewarded for doing it. You're not punished for not doing it. A lot of people don't do it, so you're not even going to be judged by most people if you don't do it. There is no risk or reward to that scenario. Do you return it?
Yes.
And that's a big pet peeve of mine. If there's even leftover shopping carts on my way to the drop off, I will grab those ones and put them in too, because it bothers me so much.
I walk it back. It's somebody's job to put that away, and it's my job to at least make it a little bit easier for them.
Yeah, why are you making some minimum wage workers' life harder for no reason?
Yeah.
But these are the people who've never returned shopping carts in their life, but then they hold the door open for one person, and they're like, oh my God, I am like such a good person. It's broken morality, and these people need to question their very lives.
Now, does it say something that I usually park near the cart return anyway, so that I have a shorter trip?
Yeah, that's just intelligent.
Yeah, I mean, I will park as close as I can to a cart return, because I'm going to return it. But I might as well shorten my trip when I'm going to do it. Even though it's usually maybe a long walk in some cases, but then there's the cart return 10 feet away. Okay, great. Or sometimes 2 feet away. But yeah, so this is retarded. They cannot meme. They think this is a meme. This isn't a meme.
Funny.
No, but then they do retarded shit like this. The combination. Hey, holy shit, 3 cakes. These are all so good. How it feels to be super fantastic bolts. I hate it when people combine words and not compare them.
I didn't know they were giving Twitter to fucking insane asylum patients.
They are. This hurts me, and this one hurts me. It's like 3 cakes, yay! No, these are all bad movies. You can like it, but admit they're bad movies. It's not hard. So this is just a small sample. I have seen so many more. Some of them, of course, I forget to bookmark them. These are the ones I remember to bookmark when I decide, I'm going to make a presentation of this. But this is the behavior of them on here. Aside from the fact they keep talking about the fake budgets, this and that, claiming it's making so much money, and the usual whole gross versus net. They all pretend gross is what actually matters, when in fact net is what matters, and this movie will not net profit. But
all these people are socialists and don't understand basic money. Basic economics is beyond their comprehension.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So there is a problem with the fabulous fans, the fabulous gun fans, who just want to pretend this thing is doing well, when in fact, as we pointed out to you, numbers-wise, when you look at all of it, it is not. It is failing internationally. It's going to cost Warner Brothers $300 million, most likely, in deficit, because in order to break even, when you break even, that means you made all the money to at least not have lost money. And if you fall short, technically that means you've lost money, because you have to then find money to continue to pay for what you put into this. So it's that simple. But on top of everything, last week we made a point to discuss how obnoxious the introduction of Supergirl was at the end of the movie. Right at the beginning of this week, right away, they dropped this poster.
Oh, God.
And there's blood on her hands. Look out. She's coming to ruin your day. I don't care if the costume looks nice. In the end, this is, I'll come back to that in a second. This is based on Tom King stuff, which is, Tom King's a butcher. He's a butcher. Dre's already got his head in his hands. He understands this.
I'm expecting the film to start with her flying through a person like the opening of The Boys and just going, oops, and keep going.
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting at this point.
Yeah. Stars Millie Alcock as Supergirl. Based on Tom King's One of Tomorrow comic. Follows Supergirl and a young girl on a murderous quest for revenge. Jason Momoa will be Lobo. Directed by Craig Gillespie. Cruella I, Tanya. Oh, yeah, he did great work.
Yeah, those are definitely superhero prep material.
Releasing 1 year from now, June 26, 2026. The movie's done. It's in post. Likely to probably get reshoots. Dre, I have no hope for this movie. I think it's going to be it's going to be disaster. It's going to be disaster.
I'm not here. I'm not happy. I don't like any of this. Okay, first, I had no hope for this off the jump because, look, back in the day, I used to be a big Tom King guy. Back in the day, I was. I got stuff on that shelf back when Tom King was respectable.
Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore. No, he's definitely sold his soul to the He Devil, and I've got no hope for anything of this. Like when this was announced, like what, a year or so ago, I was like, okay, this is gonna be trash. But now that I've seen their version of a Supergirl, I want nothing to do with this film at all.
Oh, we're gonna review this shit. We are.
This is a disaster. And like my thing is, look, like I love me some Lobo. Okay, I love me some Lobo, and I'm pretty sure they're putting Lobo in here to try to seduce me. They're trying to get my pants around my ankles. I know what they're doing.
The main man.
I love the main man. That's my bit. I love that guy. And I think Jason Momoa is going to do well with the material that he's given. I'm not saying the material is going to be great, but he's going to do well with what he's given. So he's not the problem. It's everything else. I don't like anything about like I love Kara Zor-El. I think she's a great character. I've always loved Supergirl and all just about every form for iterations. I have liked her. I liked her when she's just like don't know what's going on and being the alien out of fish out of water character. I love her when she's like the plucky teenager iteration. I love just about every version. DCAU version, of course, is freaking goated. Whatever this is makes me want to cut off my own foot and talk to it. I am not interested in this at all. This deserves to go into the toilet. Flush it twice, Lord Jesus. Flush it.
Courtesy flush. Courtesy flush.
Yes, absolutely. Because I don't want. Why do I want a dark Supergirl story? Why would I want that?
Also, the problem is this: she can't take Lobo.
Not under any circumstance.
Clark has a problem taking Lobo.
So how is she going to beat him? Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. She's going to beat him. Okay, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. What garbage are they about to throw together on this screen to justify him losing?
If it was a legitimate defeat, it would have to be because he loses interest or something change or something monetary changes his mind. Like, the bounty isn't here anymore, or you just paid me more money than you're worth for me to take you in. I'm assuming he's gonna be hunting the young girl. That's my assumption. The bounty's gonna be on the young girl, and that's how Lobo gets involved. That's my assumption at this point, because Lobo's a bounty hunter. That's how he works.
That's it. Like, it's about money. It's about money. So I'm like, if he loses interest, I'll be fine. But if she beats him hand to hand, I'm walking out the theater. I can't be a part of that.
If it's Tom King,
notice it doesn't say he's the villain. They might try to venom him and make him kind of an anti-hero. Will they? Won't they?
Lobo is Lobo is a force of nature.
Can impregnate her, keep up the Jor-El edict.
Lord, Heavenly Father.
But Lobo's a force of nature. He does whatever he wants, and when he stops because he wants to.
Yeah, that's correct.
And
He has no outside agenda.
Yes, it's about whatever Lobo wants, and it's usually money.
Yep.
Or women, but it's usually money. And then he'd just come and go. I mean, one of the best episodes, which is also a fantastic Superman episode, but it's a great one, is in Justice League Unlimited, where Superman accidentally gets sent to a future where oh shit, I had his name and I lost it. Too many names at one point.
When Vandal Savage?
Yeah, Vandal Savage accident future.
Yeah.
And Lobo shows up to fill the void in the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
He generally wanted to be like, I want to help now. And then Clark comes back and says, yeah, you can go home now. I'm back. And he's like, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You're not helping. You're making it worse. So, but that is Lobo to the T. He does what he wants. They couldn't get rid of him. The Justice League, they couldn't get rid of him.
Yep.
So he does what he wants. And he's probably going to be funny. He's probably going to be the best thing of the movie, to be honest. But this movie is a disaster, and it's already breeding insufferability. I'm seated. Theater employees are scared and ask me to leave because it's not June yet, but I'm simply too seated.
Oh, God.
Bring back insane asylums.
Ah, good Lord. Bring back St. Anne's. Lord Jesus. Please reopen that building.
This is what we're going to have to deal with for the next year, the Millie Alcock simps. They're going to make this so much harder to have objective discussions about it because all they want to do is have sex with her. That's all they want to do. It's not about Supergirl. It's about, I want to have sex with Millie Alcock. That's what it's about with these people. And if you say one bad word is, why do you hate Millie Alcock? No, I hate Supergirl as she's being presented in this movie. I don't necessarily hate Millie Alcock. And it's going to make it so annoying. And it's going to make it even more and more annoying because this is how James Gunn views her. James Gunn on why Supergirl shows up in Superman. The main reason Kara showing up is to show Superman not only risked his life to go save the dog that was his dog, that so many of us would do. He was watching a dog for somebody else. The dog's pain is dog's a pain in his ass. He didn't want to take that dog. He's off to being irresponsible. He doesn't want to have to watch a dog. I can't even read this. He's just, how he's speaking is mind-numbing. Bottom line is, he's happy with her being irresponsible. That's why I brought this up. He made her specifically irresponsible. And if we're going to get a story of blood and revenge, this doesn't sound like she's going to learn any moral lessons.
Nope.
Be like her cousin. Mr. I'm so hope and Mr. Kindness. Because remember, that's what Superman's about. This movie, it's about kindness. I'm sick and tired of these plots where they say it's either being kind or now we're just on murderous revenge. Pick one. Make something unique. Make something having layers. Don't just be this is one or the other and have a bad movie built around it.
It's all superficial.
Thank you. Perfect word. Superficial. Shallow. That's why in my review I called Superman a shallow movie, and this movie's going to be even more shallow, is my prediction. It's not going to have any remote gravitas to it at all. So this movie's going to be bad.
Unless they make it rated R and show her tits.
That's not going to happen.
They can't do that.
Warner Brothers cannot afford to do that.
They are talking about making rated R movies in the DCU, though.
James Adam just said they can't afford it. They need all the money they can get.
Rated R traditionally make less money.
100%.
That's why it needs a tiny budget. Give someone $60 million to make a rated R superhero movie about someone who's. That's the only way this stuff can be profitable. But
you should be ashamed of yourself. These people don't know what $60 million is. They fart $60 million right when they put pen to paper.
That's what I mean. That's the only way to do it, and it seems so farcical to them.
Yeah. So Supergirl. If this is the next the DCU has to offer next to Lanterns, which, as we've said, Lanterns is going to go one or two ways. And he's already admitted this week, it's a Jon Stewart story, which means I feel in some way, shape, or form, they're going to shame Hal Jordan.
Of course they are.
Which is wrong. You don't need to
already
do that
by
to
casting an older Hal, you're starting to have a problem there.
Yeah. So I have so little faith in any of this, but some people have blind faith. And there's nothing wrong with blind faith when it's earned. Superman has not earned blind faith in James Gunn's DCU. It has.
Oh, absolutely not.
It has.
If you need proof that you shouldn't have blind faith in James Gunn and that he's incapable of change, there's the other quote that I mentioned to Adam before the stream started about him addressing the squirrel scene. This comment is proof. If he won't change this little thing, he'd never change the Jarrell thing. So what he said is, we showed up in the tech screening and some people didn't like the squirrel scene. They're like, why the fuck is he saving a squirrel? Why is he taking time out saving a squirrel? Which is very legitimate. There's a cut where I left it out and I'm like, I'm really missing the squirrel. We've got to save the squirrel. So the test screening went, this is awful, cut it out. And he tried, and then he just couldn't bring himself to even change his vision by that small degree. The squirrel is irrelevant to the plot, and he couldn't bring himself to do it. There's no way he'd ever retcon Jarrell if he's struggling this much to cut out a goddamn squirrel.
And the squirrel was dumb. I said it when I watched, like, why did he take time to save the squirrel in the middle of this disaster that's going on?
You already accomplished what you needed from that scene when he saved the dog. The fact that he valued life other than human life. You get that with the dog scene. You don't need it to be repeated in that moment, especially with the squirrel.
Yep. You're not wrong. You are 100% correct. And that he says right there why he will not retcon.
I mean,
that is go ahead.
Me personally, I didn't really have too much of an issue with the squirrel scene. For me, it seemed like something Superman would do. He would save all life if he can. All life is precious. I really don't have too much of a problem with that. My problem is the moral quandary of this film. The writing of the morality in this film is absolutely insane. This film kicks off with Superman apparently interfering with an international incident, and it ends with the Justice Gang going to the exact same place and committing grisly murder. I'm going to repeat myself. Grisly murder of a leader of the country was murdered.
And it's portrayed as a good, heroic
That's a good thing. Literally what everybody's crucifying Superman for and showing up and stopping death. These dudes show up and Hawkgirl literally assassinates somebody. And no one cares. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Because James Gunn doesn't care.
He doesn't understand that there's a problem with that. He's so superficial, and the script shows that at every opportunity. The scenes weren't created to have a cohesive plot. He had random ideas for what he thought was cool and threw them in sequence at each other. There was no connective tissue. There was no thought of, how do I get from this cool moment to this cool moment, or this funny moment to this funny moment? It's a disjointed mess.
It's an absolute disaster. Literally, the film shouldn't even happen because of the end result. If the end result was, hey, the Justice Gang is gonna show up in whatever a stand and commit grisly murder, and everyone celebrates, we've missed the point of the whole interfering.
Dre, that's kindness. That's kindness, Dre. That's hope.
There's a much better way to do this. Have at the beginning of the film, Superman and the Justice Gang go stop the war. But like you pointed out, Adam, he's not going to actually fight in the war and destroy things. He's going to get the leaders off on their own to negotiate and maybe save civilians in the way, or like just rescue people, not destroy things. Have Superman doing stuff like that, and then Hawkgirl commits the assassination. But because it's a drop from a high up point right after Superman was seen with the leaders, people can infer that he committed the assassination. That is a train of events that makes sense, keeping Superman as he is and doesn't rely upon the entire world being drooling idiots. Superman kidnaps world leader, brings world leader back. Hawkgirl ends up killing him in the same way, dropping him from a great height. People would believe Superman dropped someone to kill them. You already have a better film there.
Well, that takes good writing,
shrieking
sir.
while she does it too.
Gosh. Yo, man,
they are celebrating that shriek. They're celebrating
crazy.
They think it's so cool.
People are unhinged, man. Whatever's in the Kool-Aid, keep that away from me. Jesus.
Well, the Kool-Aid drinking will continue because we've got Fantastic Four baby steps in 4 days. That's a different flavor. Very, very bluish pink. Maybe rainbow because it's got the Pedro in it. But here's the thing. This movie, Fantastic Four, and I'll be kind to say its real name, Fantastic Four First Steps. It's got a lot of problems and it hasn't even arrived yet. There is so much mixed messaging as we begin this movie's market, this final leg of the marketing. Traditionally, I ask this to you, panel. Who is the leader of the Fantastic Four?
Reed Richards.
Even Dragon Lady knows this.
That's right. Dragon Lady
So,
knows.
when you're beginning your marketing campaign, your final rush, Dre, it would be smart if the comics aligned with your movie, right? Be smart.
That would make good sense.
Make good sense. Well, Marvel hasn't been smart that way in years. So why start and get a clue now? Apparently, Sue Storm is now the leader in the comics. With all of it happening off camera, she's just suddenly leader. The panels have it. I read the panels. I believe it's in here. Here it is, where she's declaring in the new Fantastic Four #1. She's the leader, not because of its story, but because she's going to be leader in this movie. This is her movie. We have had confirmation after confirmation in trailers, in interviews, and this and that. She is the leader. And if the leaks are true that I went over with a couple weeks ago on Mellow Mondays, she's going to make the sacrifice play at the end. It's all about her. No. But what do you expect when Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards?
Fair.
What do you expect?
I mean, it makes sense why every other respectable male actor turned down this role.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Complete and total truth. He is like their fourth or fifth choice.
Yeah.
And he was on the list. And I've had some discussions last night, day before, about why is Pedro Pascal everywhere? What is he doing? I think the simplest answer is, him being fabulous aside, he does whatever they want.
Oh, yeah.
He's incapable of saying no to anything, whether or not that's behind scenes or on camera.
He will show up. He will do whatever the scripts tells him to do. He will do what they want him to do. And also, he checks every box in the book. He is a multi-box check for a single dude. So this is the problem. These people are this movie has an image problem because they have failed to capture the image of the Fantastic Four.
That's correct.
This Reed Richards is still, because we have an article here. I've skipped down about a bit of it. It's very large. I just want to read some segments of it here. The director, Shankman, proves he doesn't get this shit. Let's read a little bit of this here. There's lots of stuff in there which lends to all the stuff we're talking about. Shankman understands all of it. The cultural legacy, the commercial headaches, and creative hurdles about making a Marvel movie, a superhero movie. There's a lot of pressure in wanting to do right by characters, wanting to do right by Kirby and Lee, wanting to do right by all the amazing comic writers who have put a part of developing this for over the past 60 plus years. Corporate pressures aren't my burdens to shoulder. Instead, his greatest challenge, he says, is making a movie that feels personal amid the superhero pomp and circumstance. And that meant drawing on his distinctive path through the industry to drill down on what it means to be a family with a story that focuses on Reed and Sue having a first child together. And I'm still going to ask the question, are they even married in this? Are they even married?
No, she sure as hell didn't take his last name.
Oh, that we know.
And if they are married, red flag. Red flag. They are parents first, he says. They are scientists second and explorers second. And they're superheroes only when they have to be. I come to this as a dad and as a husband. That's what's making it special to me.
No, dad of a child that isn't his.
We don't even, I mean, the kids, she's, all right.
I mean the director.
Oh.
I'm like,
But it might be
dang,
true in the
Jed.
movie too. It might be in the movie too because
Well,
that baby that we saw doesn't
no.
look
There's
Hispanic
some-
at all.
There's some weirdness in the movie concerning the appearance of Franklin Richards. I don't know if there's going to
It's
be a time.
Galactus's baby.
I don't know.
No.
That man, that's a hallway at this point. It's a tunnel.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, he can change his size.
I guess
No,
so.
he's a single size in this movie. We've seen footage now. He's just that one size. We've seen enough footage. It is the single size Galactus you see walking through the city. That's it. That's it. But I have a question about this movie right now in terms of time skippage, time passage. We know it picks up again another in medias res fucking movie where they're although I do think that they're going to do a proper job of catching you up on what's happened. Although they have a problem. We've learned now they've cut John Malkovich's Red Ghost from the movie. They cut it out.
I'm sure he demanded that to be the case.
They showed him in a trailer, and now he's gone. No John Malkovich, which honestly, I agree. He probably said, get me out of this movie. Is there an out in my contract? I'm still a respectable actor. Get me out of this. Point is, they cut that out. I have questions about the time skips of this movie because we've seen the clips where she says I'm pregnant, but by the end of the movie, I've seen a screen cap of they're standing in the middle of the street with it in like a baby carriage, which means the baby's gonna be born at some point in the movie.
Oh yeah, they showed the baby, I thought, already.
Yeah, I think in the last trailer they put they're walking down the hallway with the whole baby.
Yeah.
I think it was a blink and you'll miss moment. I think I did see something when we went to see Jurassic World the other week, and it did look like it was Franklin Richards, but it was a very blink and you'll miss moment because I was too busy with my fist in my mouth trying not to burst out laughing.
With that comment where he said their parents first, I'm thinking he's going to get born pretty early on, like end of Act 1 might.
So they're just going to do
already born.
So that means when Silver Surfer arrives,
yikes,
it's going to be literally 9 months before Galactus gets there. Because she's wearing the same when he asks who's your leader, I am. She's wearing the same outfit where they discover she's pregnant. Now I'm all for time skips, but the Herald of Galactus isn't going to arrive, and then Galactus ain't 9 months behind.
And he's coming to collect his baby. I'm telling you, he's delayed on purpose. Little Silver Surfer brought the sperm. All right, it was an artificial insemination moment.
What if it's her baby?
Oh no, it can happen too, man.
I mean, we do see Johnny getting real familiar with Silver Surfer, so there might be another baby.
All right, so here it is right here. Here it is. Shankman's central pitch for Fantastic Four was to start with Reed and Sue becoming parents when they're established superheroes and well into their marriage. So they are married, and she hasn't taken his name. There's the proof I was asking for. Shame. Modern day bullshit. And now that decision ripples into Johnny's and Ben's lives. The idea was in part rooted in an aversion to retelling the quartet's origin story, which had been depicted in previous films. More crucially, for the 49-year-old filmmaker, he intimately understands how it feels to start a family later in life. I was 40 when I had my daughter, and she definitely... Oh, well, all right, listen, I'm not going to shit on that, whatever. When you have your kid, you have your kid. Point is, though, with a budget north of towards a million, try 300... No, sorry, wrong movie. Sorry. Well,
you can assume it's over 300.
Yeah,
we can make that assumption.
They're even shifting the buck because we have latest news on this. Today, Russo brothers directed the post-credit scene in Fantastic Four's First Steps while they're filming Doomsday.
Same thing they did with Thunderbolts.
Yeah. So they just filmed it a few months ago and tacked it on.
Also, notice how with the posters, they're trying to recreate the posters from previous Fantastic Four films on them. That one looks very similar. That one looks very similar to
No.
the 2015 version.
No, the Fantastic Four poses are all for like 60 years. It's
All
if
right,
you're
I
saying
was gonna
anything,
say, hang on a minute.
they're copying comic book is what they're copying. They're not copying.
All
movies.
They
right.
both
They're
copied
copying
from the
comic
same
books.
source.
Yes,
They're
the
all
origin.
terrible.
Yeah, yeah. They're not copying the movie. They're copying a Fantastic Four classic poses, which are all lame, and especially because this is I think disproportionate because the Thing isn't that tall in this movie. We've seen it. He's shorter than that. He's not towering over any of them in this. He's a midget. He's a manlet thing. Point is, they are wasting another movie's money on this movie. That's how this movie did not cost 200 million. It is very north. It's probably closer to 250, 300. And there's been a
100%.
serious marketing campaign, at least 150 in marketing. But they throughout this whole thing, this whole article, admitting what's going on here, admitting that it's about the family. It's not about being superheroes. It's about Sue being the leader. It's about Reed being perfectly fine, being second fiddle. Shankman details his cast decision. They cast these people without auditions. That proves once again, when it got to Pedro, it was just, oh, great. Let's just hand it to him. He's ready to take it at this point because everybody else rejected it.
Yep.
And Reed was the most challenging to cast. Let's read it. He goes from being the nerdy scientist who's locked away in a lab to the husband and father who'd do anything to protect his family to the guy who's leading the Avengers. And there it is, what we said earlier. He's leading the Avengers. He's not an Avenger
at all.
No. And I don't think that's just fundamentally true because this is from the director of Fantastic Four, not the Russos. So what does he know? We know Marvel is famously tight-lipped with their directors between films. So I think he's talking out of his ass here. I don't believe he's a reliable source on Doomsday.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. And
thing.
By the time Doomsday comes out, it's going to be edited all to hell. It's going to be cut and pasted. Whatever they don't even have. The script is barely finished. They might have finally written the third act at this point. It's been a few weeks, but bottom line is this: Fantastic Four, baby steps. It's a weak movie coming in at the end of a weak year for the MCU, and its projections right now are, I believe, about 110 to 120 domestic. And I won't even begin to think international. I don't know what international is, but
$50.
50 bucks.
50 bucks.
50 bucks. This whole thing, I always said it was going to come in third. I've been saying that since the beginning. But if it has a slightly better international than Superman, it could squeak in by a literal, Pedro nose to get to second place. The brown Pedro.
Unfortunately, you're right. Now, but that means I have to put forth faith in humanity, which is a mistake. But I still believe that this film will still be bottom feeder of this month. I think Superman has no legs. Let's tell the truth, shame the devil. But there ain't no way that this film overtakes Superman. In
a normal world, no.
In a normal
world, no.
No. But then again, we're living in a bizarro world that's beyond my comprehension at this point. But good Lord, man. Like everything about this film screams, stay home and watch TV.
Yeah.
Like every bit of it. Reed Richards ain't Reed Richards. Sue Storm is a girl boss. We got a lady Silver Surfer. Galactus is there for his baby mama. I'm rolling with that now. I'm rolling with that.
You're welcome.
Baby mama.
Yeah, that's why they gender swapped Silver Surfer. She's the fertility nurse.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. It's gonna be some freak mess. You know, it's gonna be some weird freaky deaky. Like, he became one with Reed Richards for one day and bust a fat nut that one moment, and now Franklin. And this is why Franklin Richards is gonna be OP and all that. Like, I can see it happening. Jed, you've done it again. I see it happening.
Mhm.
I'm convinced. This is a Maury Povich show now. Maury Povich, the movie. That's it. We're gonna figure out who the baby daddy is of Franklin Richards. That's gonna be the
Wait a
whole
minute. You know what? Suddenly it makes sense, and not what you're saying, but it suddenly makes sense why they have bearded thing.
The passage of time.
The passage of time. Oh my God, they're gonna have Galactus slow walking to Earth for 9 months after Silver Surfer shows up. That's why Ben has a fucking rock beard. Oh,
yeah, it's gonna be passage of time.
So
and
what are they gonna do for? What are they gonna do for 9 freaking months?
Maury Povich. That's what they're
gonna
be
be
doing.
like a sitcom, just family weird shit that's supposed to be funny and quirky pregnancy shit.
I mean, they took out Red Ghost. I heard rumors, Mole Man. I mean, what are they gonna do?
There are behind the scenes footage of Mole Man. We know who the actor is. We know what the costume looks like.
This movie is 1 hour 55 minutes. We know this. That's the runtime. What are they gonna do for 40 minutes in the middle of this movie? What on earth are they going to do?
Into a 60s sitcom. They're going to pull like a WandaVision and just randomly reference stuff. Like I have an I Love Lucy bit.
Johnny Storm is not even going to be fun because he's not a womanizer.
That's true.
He's gay. He's a flamer.
I believe it. I believe he's a flamer.
Oh, I can believe it.
He's fabulous. So this movie...
That's why Ben is a friend of the family. He's actually Johnny's boyfriend.
Predictions.
Oh God.
I believe I'm going to stay where I said 450 to 550. I'm going to stay on that 450 to 550. I think it's going to perform so poorly domestically and so mid internationally, it will still be behind Superman because Superman's strong domestic will carry it to second place. And that international will be just enough to get it to keep it there. But I think this one's going to perform so poorly across the board because of my whole MCU exhaustion theory that I've been running with all year. And also now, I think here's the thing. Pedro exhaustion is real.
It's absolutely a thing. People are
sick
and tired of him.
Last night on Chatterday, we were talking about this, and I brought up his IMDb filmography. And I tried to isolate, when did Pedro begin? Pedro began roughly in 2019 with the success of Mandalorian or The Mandalorian. And then some point between, you watch it, he did like in 2022, he did 4 projects. In 2023, he did 5 projects or four more projects. By 2023, 2025, he's averaging like 4 to 6 projects a year. And he's suddenly now he's in everything. And that's what happened. Why? We can have all our theories we want, but he is now the thing. And people are now, he's been in so many things in front of our faces because he's internet daddy, Pedro Pascal. People are sick of him. I think there is Pedro Pascal fatigue. People don't want to see this guy because, and I went back and looked at it again. None of these things are wildly successful.
No, he hasn't been in one big budget successful film. Gladiator 2 is his biggest one, and that wasn't a financial success from what I remember.
No, it was not.
This won't be either. We can just compare it to the other MCU films of this year. Thunderbolts and Captain America topped out at low 400 to 450s.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to see a whole lot more from that from Pedro. There's a little bit of a curiosity factor because Fantastic Four is just so different than we've seen in the MCU.
It's new.
It feels interesting, so people are more likely to give it a chance. So, yeah, I think 500 is a really good point for it. But, yeah, Pedro, his last movie, it is an A24 film, but it got $600,000 in Thursday night previews. That alone is enough for people to realize maybe TikTok internet zaddy shit doesn't translate to box office success.
No. Dre, numbers.
I'm going to go... Yeah, people are too stupid. That's $600 million.
$600 million?
I'm
wow.
going $600 million. I'm going.
You think they're going to be that stupid? You think they're going to be that stupid?
I believe that people are dumb, and $600 million. They're going to find a way to get. I mean, it's still not going to make any money, but nonetheless, I think $600 million. I think this junk will top out at that. That's all. That's all. Because like I believe that this film, like in my heart of hearts, this should be a $450 to $500 million film. In my personal opinion, that's what I think it is. But human beings always disappoint me. So $600 million, I can see this being $600 million.
You're preparing for disappointment.
I'm prepared for disappointment because because like opening weekend is going to. I don't think it should be massive. Let's just get that word out of the way. I don't think the opening weekend should even be massive. I think Friday will be a big day, and then everybody that sees it on Thursday previews and Friday are going to tell everybody on planet Earth, hey, this is worse than colonoscopy. Don't go and see this movie. I think that's going to happen, and then people are going to be like, but I don't know what that means, so I'm gonna go to the movie. That's what's gonna happen. This movie's gonna limp to $600 million, which it still won't make money, but it will be enough to justify these people saying like it's the greatest movie. Oh yes, it's the greatest movie of all time. I can see it happen. So I'm saying $600 million.
I mean, my guess. No, go.
Oh well, my tangent a little bit. So go ahead.
I was just say my guess is its break even is around 700. That's my guess. That's my guess for its break even.
Yeah, the advertising budget has got to be $200 million.
Oh, easily. With the popcorn buckets, the sneakers. Remember the see-through sneakers?
Oh yes.
All the shit they put out.
They got the sweatshops involved.
Yeah, I mean they have been the online pressure they've been putting with this movie. The marketing is at least 150 to 200. So this is a probably $500 million movie when all is said and done.
More than likely.
Which means it's going to need around 700-800 million break even.
Easily 750, 800.
Go ahead, Jim.
I agree.
Oh, I think it's interesting, or at least relevant, that Dre made that certain clapping noise with his hands because there are reports that Pedro Pascal will be coming to each theater and beating you off. The entire thing.
I have that. I have that. Do you have it up now, or do you want me to bring it up?
I do have it up right now.
All right, you bring it up. I was gonna save that for the stinger, but go ahead. This thing is so bad.
So yeah, we have reports from someone who's seen the film already, Dre, who says it is a masterpiece. The visual effects, the score are a huge standout.
No, listen, read this. Have you seen this? Have you seen this post?
I don't know what this is. I haven't seen this post.
All right, Jed. One of us are gonna have to read this, and it's gonna be bad.
I'm already starting it, so let's go.
All right, go. You go.
It is a masterpiece. The visual effects and the score are a huge standout. Galactus is huge in IMAX. It's emotional and gives you hope. More hope maxing here. It beats you off and doesn't stop.
Oh my
Stay
Christ.
until the end credits.
I read this last night on Saturday, and it was just, are you kidding me?
Wait.
That's why they hired Pedro Pascal, because he is willing to come to every theater and beat every man off.
That is incredible.
Oh, I know this.
Now that's fantastic.
Basically, the tagline is this: when something goes viral, but not for the reason you want it to.
That's freaking crazy.
No, this didn't go viral. It went venereal.
No. Well played, sir.
There's crabs everywhere.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Galactus crabs? That's how he invades.
No.
Look, it says Galactus is huge in IMAX.
They said huge a lot.
Means. That's it.
Well, and here's something that I want to. You mentioned IMAX, and this also can relate to the Superman discussion. These tickets these days cost so much more money.
Yes, they do.
That these numbers we're seeing for these movies, these box office numbers, there's less people going to the movies, but the movies cost more, which is why these movies get the numbers they do. People aren't going to the movies as much. But they'll drop whatever the hell a freaking IMAX ticket is. I don't believe in IMAX. I think IMAX is a waste of time. I think that if you need to go see IMAX, maybe you should go get your eyes checked. Maybe you don't see clearly because a regular movie theater screen is just fine. In fact, my computer monitor, my TV are just fine.
Just sit closer to the screen if you think you need IMAX.
I don't believe in IMAX. I think it is. I'm not going to say it's a scam. I just think it's a waste of time. And it's for some guy who wants to be auteur. I want to be an auteur. I want to make my opus on IMAX. You know what? Just make your fucking movie.
The only movies I go see.
And yes, that is a shot at Nolan. That is a
I
shot
know
at
it
Nolan.
is. I know it is. The only director I see in IMAX is Christopher Nolan. That's it. Outside of that, I
he's
do
the
not.
expert on it.
Yeah, because it's literally he literally is legitimately shooting in IMAX. Everyone else is not shooting in IMAX.
And
they're
then
just literally
it's
saying it's an
stretched.
IMAX, baby. It's an IMAX. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're trying to get another $8 out of me. Screw you. So yeah, I'm with you there. Like, who's gonna go see this in IMAX? Who's wasting their time?
Oh, there
And
will
the
be
thing
some.
is, the thing is, in the UK, there are very, very few IMAX theaters in the UK. So unless you're going somewhere like London or Glasgow, there are very few IMAX theaters, and I think I've only ever seen at least maybe 3 films in IMAX. The first How to Train Your Dragon film, Jurassic Park 20th anniversary re-release, and Deadpool 3 last year, and that was about it.
And that's a respectable list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good list of things to go see, but it does highlight IMAX isn't that big of a deal outside of the domestic market, and it's not going to be able to carry. I don't think there's many other nations that highlight it to the degree that we do.
Yeah, so I think this movie's it's going to lose money. It is destined to lose money. And listen, I'm gonna review it next week. Hopefully, I get my review out Friday afternoon. There may be a little hiccup with Double D's next week if I want to get the review out on time, but we'll see what happens. We'll definitely be discussing it next Sunday. It's box office. Depending on how many of us have seen it, it's content. It will be spoiler filled because that's what we're gonna do. It's how it has to work. And I predict complete and total failure, and it's going to put Disney right back into the red, and they're not going to recover because their next project is the Wonder Man show coming out in Christmas or winter.
That's still happening?
Yeah. And they just finished shooting on Vision Quest today. They just announced today completed Vision Quest shooting. Will coming out next year.
The entire Disney slate for the rest of the year is pathetic because Freaky Friday is them as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, just every other thing is just so tiny that it's irrelevant. And Wonder Man is irrelevant. No one knows who Wonder Man even is outside of big comic book
I don't know who Wonder
fans.
Man is.
I know who Wonder Man is, but nonetheless, he's not a big enough name to draw.
And he's not black either, is he?
Draw.
He's not black either. He's not black.
No, he's not black.
But he is
Original
now.
Wonder Man is as white as Jed.
He is now.
Right? Golly, I hate everything. The idea, see, man, this is why I hate everything. This is why I hate everything.
Sound like me.
It's just a disappointment. No, it's not even a disappointment. It's like watching somebody push a boulder up a hill. You know it's gonna end badly, but then you just keep watching him. Then you watch them fall down, tumble down horribly. Both their legs break. Their arm is where their butt cheeks are supposed to be. It's all an absolute disaster. And then you sit there and say to yourself, I should help them. I should help them. But then you see them with a butt cheek arms try to walk back up the hill and try to push the boulder again. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to let you keep dying over and over and over again. The idea that you're still investing in Disney Plus shows is an absolute farce. Disney Plus has lost more money than I can possibly imagine. And yet you're still making shows that no one's watching. No one's watching. 0 human beings are watching this garbage. And you're still going to do that?
No.
You're crazy. You're crazy. It's wrong with these people.
You're going to watch aborted season 2, aren't you? Daredevil aborted season 2? Yeah,
I don't want to.
But you're going to.
I don't want to. Now, granted, is the good Captain Jack going to deliver it to me? There's a strong possibility of that. But nonetheless, see, that's the same thing. This was a show that was supposed to be beautiful. This was a show that was built up as a spiritual homage to one of the greatest the greatest Netflix show ever created. Period, bar none. And you gave me warmed over diarrhea. And you should be ashamed of yourselves. Ashamed. And nobody watched it. Nobody watched it. More people watched me dig up these freaking gopher holes when trying to sit there and set these traps out in my yard. More people watched me do that than watch that that Disney Plus abomination that they call Daredevil Born Again. Ridiculous. I hate everything. Everything has to go. I'm done.
People call me so angry, and I've somehow passed it on to Dre.
I'm a curmudgeon now.
People call me a curmudgeon lately, and I'm not a curmudgeon. I like things. I just hate the crap that's coming out now.
Like, look, I know I'm getting old, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, now I'm a dad. Now my level of I don't give a crap is on a level that cannot even be quantified. Because now I got to sneak off and try to do something so I can be like, oh man, I'm waiting for my son. I can finally do something. And you give me nonsense.
At the same time, though, you now have to have a shield and be like this. No, son, do not let it. I will not let you touch my son with this horrible shit.
Exactly. Now I got to sit there and endure it. And I'm like, man, I'm so glad I don't have to show my son this horrible trash. I can't do this. It's so frustrating because I want to like things. I want to like things, but they keep giving me nothing.
Well, speaking of nothing, and things only getting worse, Ubisoft. Ubisoft has nothing. Ubisoft has nothing. Remember, who they're going to buy this and that. Well, they got some of that 10-cent money. And what do? They made a spin-off company. Yet they're
putting band-aids on gunshot wounds with that money.
They just put their own the Guillemets just put themselves in charge of it again. Let's not get people who might understand how to fix things. No, we're just gonna nepo baby this shit up and make more crap. Jed, there's no hope.
Oh God, no! This is this is just a marketing ploy, or like a way to pull the wool over the eyes of the investors who are probably screaming as the stock continues to go down. This is no change of substance. The subsidiary never meant anything, and this is just more proof of it, where they are just moving their stuff onto a different banner. It's the same nonsense. It's the same people. It's going to be the same quality product. Nothing changes. A brand name change is not enough to warrant a content change. It's so superficial, and I really hope the investors aren't fooled by this, because a lot of these corporate decisions that are being made to fool the investors make it seem like these people think the investors are drooling idiots, or at least don't pay attention. No, if you're an investor, your money's on the line. You should be paying attention to an excruciating detail, but sometimes stuff like this works. So I really hope the investors at Ubisoft aren't fooled by this blatant piece of nonsensical deception.
I mean, exactly. They're just putting the son, the Guillemot's son is going to be put in charge. They're going to throw out names like, hey, announced March 27th, the spin-off's being created to accelerate the growth of 3 Ubisoft's top franchises, Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and Far Cry. All 3 of these franchises are in dire straits right now.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. And focus on building brand ecosystems capable of becoming evergreen billion-euro franchises. What? You're not even sniffing $1 billion from anything.
Billion euro.
Even combined, I don't think these 3 projects could make $1 billion.
How much money did they lose on Shadows?
They lost a boatload on
all
Shadows.
Of the money.
And
Adam, they lost all of the money. There is no number that can be quantified.
Yeah.
You have to invent new numbers.
Rainbow Six is a dead franchise.
It's been dead for 20 years.
Tom Clancy is turning in his grave. He is dead, right? He is dead. I believe he is dead.
He wishes he was dead if he's not.
Yeah. Far Cry, nobody... No.
And Far Cry hasn't been relevant in years. I'd say relevant. 5 is the last relevant one, and I would question even that one.
And that's the one with Juan Carlos Esposito on the cover.
I believe that was 6.
Okay, see, I don't even know.
And yeah, Juan Carlo was not enough to make that game successful. It wasn't a success. Yeah. But for those who were confused by my comment about the investors, they put their biggest franchises, which are also their biggest money pits, under a different umbrella. So Ubisoft's line looks better. It looks like they're closer to being in the black. You obfuscate the expenses and the losses.
It's what
to
Warner
something
Brothers
else.
did. It's what Warner Brothers did last month when they split everything up to shift the debt around to make it look nice and pretty.
As long as the main big overarching company like Warner Brothers or like Ubisoft looks like they were doing well, the investors might not look into the details of the subsidiaries that aren't doing well.
Yeah.
And that might be why Disney is able to hide their shit. A lot of stuff is under the Lucasfilm umbrella, the Pixar umbrella. It's easier to deceive people.
And they are deceiving. With complementary backgrounds, Christoph, and Charlie bring strong industry expertise, deep knowledge of the Ubisoft ecosystem, and a shared culture of innovation. Jed, show me innovation in an Assassin's Creed game in the past decade.
No, I would say Origins was the last innovative one, and not in a way that people liked. Like a lot of diehard Assassin's Creed fans don't like the RPG elements, but
true,
it was a change to the franchise. So by definition, I would call it innovative, but that would be the last one.
But
I love Odyssey, but it's not innovative.
That's so long ago, though. There's been
a decade,
over a decade. There's been no innovation, and we're going to talk about industry expertise. Your company was on the verge of death until Tencent decided to give you $1.25 billion.
And that's not a whole lot of money with how Ubisoft is spending it.
Yeah.
With that much money, they could maybe fill out the budgets for one project in each of those 3 franchises. Maybe. And I'm being very generous. The budget for Assassin's Creed Shadows could have been north of $500 million.
Well, they had over 2,000 people working on the game.
Yeah. So you're not even giving them enough money to start this new company. You're giving them enough money to maybe fund 2 games.
I mean, and Dre, you know how much money it takes to make these games.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And looking at, of course, the scale of like Assassin's Creed franchise, that 1 billion is done in a month. I'm exaggerating, of course, but no, all the same, that ain't going to scratch for what they really need to do. Especially when they're trying to revive a franchise, because that 1.25 billion. So that money is allegedly would go to the full production of the game and advertising. That's the idea behind that type of money. Now, could they be able to scratch something together if everything worked perfectly and had a maybe 2 bad GMCs? Sure, miracles happen, but the chances of that happening are slim to none. But like you said, you all eloquently put, that's for one game. Unless you're doing Splinter Cell, that will save you some money. But who's buying that? Other than that,
No, but you talk about what they want to do. I mean, Jed, the next one they're trying to do is essentially a mobile game, right? Or at least a live service game, correct?
So those are 2 different projects. I believe it was codenamed Jade is what we have at this point, is the Chinese one. And that one's going to be a mobile game, pretty much exclusive, I believe. And yeah, they're doing things that fans have asking for a while and just butchering them, because the Assassin's Creed, as much as I love it, they stuck to the same 200 years of European history for way too long. They did way too many games in the 17 and 1800s. It was getting ridiculous. But we wanted Japan. They gave us Japan, and it was hot, steamy garbage. We wanted China, and now it's hot, steamy garbage. And then, the reports are that Assassin's Creed Infinity is coming out, and that'll be the live service game. But it probably what the Assassin's Creed I can't remember what it's called, the home or whatever it is, what it got incorporated into, because Shadows came with this
hub thing,
the hub thing, the Animus hub. That's right, that's what it was called. So that might be what Infinity morphed into when they didn't have enough money, or they could still be working on the live service game. So the live service game is in question at this point, whether or not it's a hub or if it's still coming. But yeah, the mobile game is where they want to go. They want to go for the future of that, and that's why I think the parkour has gotten so neutered, because they only have so many buttons on a mobile game. They want to make it easy.
Good point.
And so it just run and it'll do it for you, and you don't have to think about it, and it still is crap. But streamlining it for mobile games is what it felt like they were doing for Shadows in preparation for Jade. And that's just a personal theory, though. There's no real
I'm going to lean into what you're saying there, because Ubisoft just keeps digging this hole deeper. Because when you come to live service and mobile games, what keeps those things going? Microtransactions. And Ubisoft thinks microtransactions make premium games more fun.
Yes, that's always what makes it more fun. Giving you more money to do nothing. That's always more fun. And the idea of microtransactions, even now, still, like it was hated when it was first released. Players have already revolted against this idea already.
But they're doubling down now. It's like, oh, we're gonna if their next games are mobile and live service, microtransactions. That's where they're gonna make up the money, Dre.
There's no way in this life or the next. But here's the thing: if this is a freemium game, and let's what was it? Adamus, whatever they want to, whatever the code name, whatever it may be, Jade, whatever. If that's the mobile game that they're making and they're doing it freemium, are they going to be able to collect some money? Sure, because now the player doesn't feel like they're being cheated. But it's not going to be enough to justify another $1 billion game. It's not
still
going to
going
be
to cost $60-$80 to purchase the mobile game.
Oh, they're not giving
mobile gaming
free.
is changing a lot right now.
Oh.
There's a lot of new games are available on mobile, and there's new rigs to add controllers to your mobile. Like you can put your phone in this rig that puts basically Xbox controller split in half on either end. They're trying to go high graphics. You're still paying full price for them. They're really trying to make tablets, iPhones, and stuff like that real gaming rigs, and they're going to be treated just like Steam or anything like that.
So, Adam, I retract my statement.
Okay.
I retract my statement completely.
Okay.
This is over. It's over with. It's over with. Like, do they have a name for their new company?
Toilet.
I don't think they've announced a public name yet, but yeah, they've got to come up with something interesting for that.
Okay.
But,
well,
yeah,
whatever it is, Ubi
Babysoft.
Babysoft. God, heaven,
I don't know. I got baby steps on the brain, so that's what
I
came
see
out
that
first.
clearly. But yeah, that Jones cooked, yo. That's a disaster.
Which is so disappointing for Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed is one of those franchises that you have limitless possibilities in. It should never get stale as a franchise, because you can always go to a different time, always focus on different characters, different historical events, different mythologies, and you'd never run out of history. But they found a way to
feels like
make
they
history
have.
stale.
That's the problem. It's like
which makes this so disappointing. There was an endless possibilities, and they screwed the pooch on endless possibilities.
But the possibilities are also sky's the limit, because on top of everything, during these ridiculous announcements, we get the confirmation that they have ordered the long gestating live action Assassin's Creed series at Netflix. Lord. Jed, we're going to review this no matter what. We're going
I don't want to, but yeah, my goal at this point is for it to be better than the Michael Fassbender movie. That's my only hope and dream and a prayer, but it's a fool's hope.
We don't know anything about this. We know nothing.
No.
All we know is that Robert Patino and David Weiner now sit as creators, showrunners, and executive producers. That's all we know. There's no story. There's no cast. And I don't right now. Don't touch Ezio. Don't touch characters I know and love. Just make something up. Just make something up, and just do it. Like right there, that's Ezio. You stay away from my boy Ezio.
This is another thing like Legend of Zelda that I was saying. I think it makes the most sense to create a different story in a new time frame and not worry about adapting the games, because the games are so story heavy that you're not really gaining a whole lot if you were to adapt a game one for one. You're not really gaining anything. So yeah, pick a different time. Follow the choices that led up to the Michael Fassbender movie. Don't follow any of the actual content of the Michael Fassbender movie.
Lord, Jesus.
But yeah, I hope they do something else, because they're not going to treat Ezio or Altair correctly. They're going to butcher them, change them in some way. And I don't want them touching any of them, even the ones that I don't like, because I don't like Shadows. I don't like Mirage, but they'd still find some way to make it worse, is my bet.
All right.
I don't know, but at least the people involved in this are saying that they're big fans, and they're trying to prove that they're big fans. They're
which
referencing
fans? What kind of fan? Are we gonna get a Whammons just as our assassin, our lead assassin? I mean, yeah, of course there are female assassins, no shit. But listen, Cassie was great, but she wasn't really an assassin. And then Ivor wasn't an assassin. but they
we need
made-
real assassins. Well,
Yeah.
the Assassin's Creed franchise is getting to the point, like the zombie genre as a whole. The zombie genre is terrified of using the word zombie in any product that comes out. They have to come up with weird names like walkers and shit because they're terrified of the term zombie for some reason. Assassin's Creed is terrified of having the protagonist be an assassin for some fucking reason. It's bizarre.
I don't have any faith in this. I honestly don't. It's Netflix. It's Netflix. And Netflix has not earned my trust at all. No.
I don't think they can go dark enough. Netflix has a big family audience. I don't think like a lot of their originals, if they're good and popular, they're not the dark ones. And you need something. They're assassins for Christ's sake. They kill people in the dark.
And there's betrayal all around and people dying and horrible things being done. So I don't have any faith in this. And here's also the problem though, considering the level of, I don't want to say, I mean, I guess disinterest does actually work. The level of disinterest, the level of also disgust that the franchise has at the moment. There's no enthusiasm for this. You're bringing out a show when the franchise is literally at its lowest point.
Facts.
How do you intend to get people excited to go watch a show when nobody's playing the new games? Nobody's excited about this stuff. Makes no sense to me. The timing of this. Now, I mean, maybe if they'd had it ready to go when Shadows came out, it might have at least had some, I don't know, splash over effect.
Basic marketing.
Yeah.
You have the projects help each other.
Yeah.
But no,
I mean,
we're not getting this till 2027, right?
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't think it's said here. I mean, look.
That's my assumption at this point.
I would have, well, considering
writing.
Oh, yeah, considering how long it takes them to do anything now.
Especially Netflix.
Netflix. We're halfway through 2025 right now. All they have is a showrunner and producers. That's all they got. They don't have writers. They don't have cast. They don't have a story. They got nothing. They're not going to have anything till at least middle of next year, which means, well, honestly, I would be surprised if we get this by the end of 2027. I'd be surprised. Because once they get in production, it'll take them 16 months to do 8 episodes. Every single show we're looking at. I've been ranting on that for 2 weeks. They take forever to make anything now.
Well, even good shows take way too long. Like I think Stranger Things has that problem more than anything else because of its child cast. Well, no one's going to believe that these kids are kids anymore. They're all in their mid-20s. And it's like, yeah, they're 16. This isn't the 70s anymore. We don't accept 25-year-old teenagers anymore.
Have you seen the rumored runtime on all the episodes for Stranger Things season 5? They're all like 2 hours plus. Each episode's like 2 hours plus. Why didn't you break them up into 24 episodes then? It's 26 episodes, if it's true, worth of television. Why are you putting them out as movies?
That number of episodes these days, and I don't get it. 20 episodes, 20 to 24 episodes, I think is the perfect amount for a show, with a few exceptions, but that's how you should be doing the framework, because it worked for so fucking long.
Decades.
Yeah, worked. Well, I have no faith in it, but I will likely review it, and Jed and I will probably have things to say about it. I'll be older. Hopefully, I won't
by
be dying.
2027, who knows if we'll still be doing this? What's going to change in that amount of time? I hope it's 2027, just because at the end of the year, the thing that makes sense, releasing it on November 15th. That is the anniversary. That's Assassin's Creed Day. It's basic marketing. But
they're not that smart.
They might pull a Rings of Power and be like, yeah, let's do it on the death of the Assassin's Creed creator.
Oh, my God. All right. Ending on that sour note, we're done. We got through all our topics. Let's go on the horn. Sarah Farwells and I have stuff to do for the rest of the afternoon. Jed, go.
Well, you can all find me on YouTube at Hollywood Scholar, just regularly scheduled live streams with Saturday Night Drive-In, which Adam will talk more about.
Dre.
Yeah. We'll see what pops off throughout this week. Now that I'm finally back to making videos. Hooray. Let's see what has happened. Oh yeah. Right. I got a new chair. So I'm excited about that. Finally the gaming channel is back. Just dropped a new Pokemon video on Friday on the DeBrook Plays YouTube channel. So definitely everybody go and check that out. And of course, if you haven't seen my Superman review that dropped last week, that will also be on the Brutal Plan Comics YouTube channel. And this week, we'll see what pops off. Might have some big news, and I will be dropping it there as well. So you can do all those great YouTube things like comment, subscribe, and share. And follow me on Twitter at TheBrute00.
Okay, Dragon Lady.
Not a lot, but you can check out my review for GoldenEye that I posted in the other day, I think it was. No, last week that I posted that in. Other than that, that's about it, really.
Okay, as for me, tonight, of course, I'll be doing my recording for Wormhole Watch. We'll appear on Duke Devil 95, Bradley Burnett's channel on Wednesday. We'll be off for a week after that, but we got one more episode for this month. Tomorrow, Mellow Mondays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, you can find me right here for the Daily Dive, the Double Ds, where it's going to be an interesting week. At some point, I know they're going to make me play a game I don't want to play. Might even turn into a stream. We'll see if we have time. It's kind of running up against Baby Steps, so we'll see if we'll have time. At the same time, as I said, Fantastic Four Baby Steps, that is the topic of the week. I will do my best to get a review out for you guys by Friday. We will see what happens. Other than that, gaming stuff like that, we are almost done with Lunar Remastered. And, you know, I know some of you are enjoying it. I'm considering redoing the gaming schedule because I feel like maybe RPGs ain't working for you guys. Maybe you want something a little more intense and more action oriented. So I'll be rethinking how we're going to do that. And also I might be in the mood for some other things. Jed mentioned it this week, Saturday Night Drive-In. We are doing the Thomas Crown Affair, the remake starring Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo. Fantastic movie. I love this movie. It's a fun one. And then, of course, there'll always be Ballbusters at the end of the week. And I believe not this week, but next week's Anime Odyssey. So I'll save that one for then. Other than that, we are done here. Thank you, everybody in the audience, whether you're watching live or on the replay. We appreciate you guys being here, taking your time to enjoy our special takes on things. So hit that like button, subscribe to everybody's channels in the links. Links aren't in the description below. And we'll see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy, everybody.